Hey guys, happy Sunday. Hopefully, we're all feeling good. I just done 4 minutes worth of talking and I was just absolutely overcomplicating it. Anyway, we're going to do some zone 2. What is zone 2 when it comes to like cardiovascular heart rate zones? You know, everyone's talking about it, but what actually is it? Now, a lot of people will talk about it in terms of running rather than in terms of like Stairmaster, like steady state kind of cardio. Zone 2 is like steady state cardio, but you'll see people talking about different zone works for more so for like running. Now, what actually is it? Now, there's 5 zones within your cardiovascular and endurance training, and each zone indicates a certain range of beats per minute. So it's working. It's about your heart rate. It's my god, seriously, I don't work Sundays, my brain is not working. So it is just primarily really about your heart rate, where your heart rate is sitting on what intensity of work you're doing. So the beats per minute for your heart rate and allows you to train at different intensities, working on different goals. So if your heart rate is sitting away sky high, you know, you're at your maximum heart rate, then you're going to be like more working on like your cardiovascular endurance, cardiovascular training. You're making yourself be a fitter person at that point, whereas zone 2 work is a lower to moderate intensity of training, and this actually promotes fat loss. When it comes to running, and I say, you know, Nicola, go and do a zone 2 run, this actually teaches you zone 2 is going to be a slow paced run, and when it comes to running, it's not about just going out and hitting fast runs all the time, trying to hit PBs. It is generally about doing all different types of runs. You don't need to be going hitting out PBs every single week. So when I say a zone 2, that's going to be an easy paced run. Now, what you're teaching your body by doing that is you're teaching it to be able to like be on foot for much longer. Therefore, your aerobic system is going to get fitter because you're able to hold a good level of intensity, a good heart rate, maintain that heart rate for a longer period of time. Now, when you start to include all different types of runs like intervals, speed work, tempo runs, thresholds, there's so many different types of running. They all align together to make you be a fitter runner, to make you be able to run for longer, and also to be able to speed your runs up, to be able to then hit your PBs. So when a zone 2, when it comes to running, your zone 2 work might be very, very slow, but if it is very, very slow, like my zone 2 work is very slow compared to what I can hit a PB 5k in, right? But it's very, very beneficial because you're going to teach your body will start to get used to that, and then you'll actually be able to start to speed up in a zone 2 without actually your heart rate going sky high, right? So zone 2 work is low to moderate intensity of training. It's going to be about 60 to 70% of your maximum heart rate. Now, maximum heart rate is 220 minus your age, and if you're looking at 60 to 70% of that, you would just divide it by 100, times it by 60, or times it by 70. Now, you might think, fucking hell, that's quite low. You know, it might be about 115 to like 130, but this is where you start to like use that as a baseline, and then you're going to be able to like as you get fitter, that range will change. Another way to determine like zone 2 work is the intensity of the training, right? So if you are going out hell for leather on your cardio, maybe you're doing HIIT work, maybe you're doing a Hyrox conditioning, maybe you're going out and trying to hit a running event, a 10k or whatever, and you're trying to hit a PB, then your level of effort is going to be like 10 out of 10. However, on a zone 2 run, it should sit about 3 to 4. You know, it shouldn't be too hard. It shouldn't be too easy, but it should not be hard, right? And you should be able to, another way to determine this is you should be able to hold a conversation if you're maybe doing it with someone, or same with the Stairmaster, like you should be able to hold a conversation with someone, and that would be like you sitting in a zone 2 heart rate zone. Now, your body in a zone 2 work, your body's going to primarily use fats as its main source of energy. So that's what it's going to get the energy from, the fat content that you've put into the body, utilize that for energy. Hence why we promote using steady state cardio in a fat loss phase, because that's promoting fat burning, right? And I know I'm not really making this very fucking simple, but zone 2 is basically like steady state cardio. And when we're in steady state cardio, our heart rate is in like zone 2 work, and it's promoting fat burning. So if you are in a fat loss phase, that's why we'd maybe more so use, and you didn't have any performance goals, that's when we would use like steady state cardio. So that would be like cross trainer, bike, Stairmaster, a zone 2 run, rather than looking at like HYROX style for trying to use that as fat burning, or like to fat burning. Benefits of a zone 2 cardio work is obviously it promotes fat burning because of the heart rate range that you're in. As I says, if you're doing cardio and you're sitting like 170, 180, you're actually working on cardiovascular endurance levels. So you're making yourself be a fitter person rather than working in your fat burning zone. It enhances your endurance levels. Also known as slow running is very effective, as I spoke about. Like, people don't realise slow running is actually, everyone should have slow running in their plan. If you're wanting to do any sort of running, HYROX, CrossFit, whatever, like slow running is going to be very, very effective. Also, with zone 2 cardio work, it's easy to recover from. You're not going to get too much DOMS off the back of that, because you're not pushing yourself like extremely hard. It also increases lactic acid threshold, so when it comes to running, your body's ability to recover quicker when the lactic acid builds up. So as I says, when it comes to running, you're going to be able to run for a longer period of time by doing these zone 2 runs. Your body's going to get used to that, sitting at a good level of heart rate. And then when it comes to running, obviously I've made a slide for this. Running is not always about going as fast as you can, and actually if you try and hit PBs all the time in every single run, then you actually don't improve. And sometimes some people have said to me, like, oh my god, my easy pace run is too easy. I'm basically walking, right? It's meant to be easy. And all you're going to do, even if we're starting at walking, we're going to gradually over time, bear with it, because gradually over time that's going to come to a jog, and then it's going to come to a quicker paced run. But that's now classed as your zone 2 because we've built that up. It builds your heart and lungs efficiency, meaning that more oxygen is going to be delivered to your muscles. It's going to teach your body to burn fat and use it as fuel rather than eating away into it, like eating into your muscles. In performance, you're obviously going to be able to run for longer without fatiguing too quickly, and it's going to reduce the risk of injury as you're not going hell for leather. Same with if you were doing the Stairmaster and you're doing it at a nice, easy pace. That's going to promote fat burning. Also, you're not going to have injuries off the back of that because you're not pushing your body to extremes. We're just going at a nice, steady state that we can maintain for, say, 45 minutes. We're not absolutely bursting our arse and we're really digging through the trenches for that, okay? So that is what it's about when it comes to zone 2 work. It's all to do with your level and intensity. It should be 3 to 4 out of 10. It should not be hell for leather, oh my god, I'm dying. It should be nice, easy paced. It's about your heart rate zone. Sometimes, obviously, the heart rate might be, I would say on average, everyone's will be roughly about 120 to 140-ish. But as I says, sometimes it's not about too much focus around. Don't overly obsess by these kind of numbers and look at the effort that you're putting in. How does it feel, rather than thinking, oh my god, I check in every 2 seconds, oh my god, I'm now in the cardiovascular zone, I need to get out. Go by actually how it feels to you, whether it's running, whether it's Stairmaster, whether it's whatever kind of cardio work you're doing. But that is in regards to zone 2. Hopefully that makes sense. Obviously, any questions off the back of it. If you don't like the way I've explained it, then fire any criticism to me, but cheers, guys. I'm away to enjoy it. It's actually pitch black now. I'm away to enjoy my wee Coke Zero in peace. But as it says, any questions, any issues, hopefully this clarifies it up, and happy freaking Sunday.